Solo leveling made me genuinely crazy. After completing the anime, I decided to pick up the manhwa and read it. I told myself I'd read at a normal pace, but instead found myself binging the entire series because of how much I was enjoying it. I couldn't believe that I wasn't only reading for Sung Jin-woo himself, but a bug addicted to K-dramas. But seriously, it's not a surprise that the most controversial thing about the manhwa is the ending. Now, there are certain things I want to specify before I speak on my thoughts about this. Did the ending ruin the entire series? Absolutely not. But it wasn't Sunshine and Rainbows either. And for everyone already spamming in my comments, it's called solo leveling, not everyone leveling. You're absolutely correct too. I want to help clear up some of the confusion about these series and also speak about some things that rubbed me the wrong way throughout the manhwa. I plan on making a separate video for all things I love because although the ending wasn't to my standards, that doesn't destroy the feelings I felt about the 150 plus chapters when reading. Alright, let's begin. I feel like this is the most important thing everyone is overlooking. Solo leveling is a power fantasy about Sung Jin-woo. You're not supposed to compare it to a deep and profound story like Vinland Saga, Berserk, or Pun Pun. It's the story of Sung Jin-woo, not Andre Thomas, not the chairman, and not Jinha. So whatever the author does with his characters is on him. But the mistake I think the author made was to emotionally attach us to these characters. We spent the entire series building some of these relationships, watching their hardships, just for their personalities to get thrown away into the trash and turn into a new person in the end. I'm going to use the chairman as an example here. We didn't get backstory about him, no lore, nothing about his past because he's a chairman. The chairman, also known as Gunhee, is a man with a humble, open, and honest personality. He's very appreciative towards those with good morals, but also very distasteful towards those who aim for personal gain, like shown with the Japanese chairman who tried to take advantage of Korea. As a result of this attitude, the chairman had a great relationship with Sung Jin-woo from the moment they met. They shared laughs together. The chairman made sacrifices for Sung Jin-woo when others didn't agree with him. He even cheered Sung Jin-woo while fighting during the Jeju Island arc. But when the chairman died, I didn't expect it to hit me like this. As he cries thanking the gods that his heart kept beating so he could meet Sung Jin-woo. They even had a funeral, giving us little moments of Sung Jin-woo crying and seeking revenge for him. And then when he finally kills the Ice Monarch, we get closure for both Sung Jin-woo and Jin Chil-woo. I realized that this character death hit me because the author was giving us so many reasons to get attached to this character. For the author to keep us invested in a character like this means he has to be important to the story. But to make Sung Jin-woo go back in time and prevent everything that happened, not only to the chairman, but to all the characters, kinda destroys the relationships they built up throughout the whole story. The only thing that this ending really did was make Sung Jin-woo's character better, which again makes sense because he's the MC. But when he introduces characters like the S-Rank Hunters, the National Level Hunters, random antagonists along the way, we understand that their characters are just to help push the narrative forward, which is needed in any story. Not only that, but he purposely did not develop some of these guys because he understands that they're just entertainment for the audience and nothing less, which makes sense once you read the ending. But here's another example. To include a love interest like Cha Hye-in actually caught me off guard because I didn't expect one when originally reading, especially since the author basically told Jo-hee to screw off and sent her character to Busan to study. It seemed like there wasn't going to be a love interest for Sung Jin-woo, but when he introduced Cha Hye-in and she was an S-Rank hunter, I was kind of excited for her character because they gave her unique attributes compared to the other hunters. Not only that, but her fighting style was based on dance, which was pretty unique to me. They even stated that she was as strong as Choi Jung-in, whose nickname was the Ultimate Soldier. Unfortunately, after the Jeju Island arc, she really didn't get many moments to shine, but she was included to be the love interest, especially since the author made it so obvious. He basically stopped caring about giving her character roles and other related things, and most of her scenes were just being infatuated with Sung Jin-woo. Heck, she even tried to join his guild to get closer with him. Now, I didn't hate this at all. I found it enjoyable to see this slow burn romance kick off, but it never really felt like a slow burn, it felt more one-sided. Especially since the world was ending and Sung Jin-woo was like, yeah, who should I spend my time with? My mother, who I had recently awakened from her eternal slumber, and literally one of the main reasons I decided to become a hunter in the first place, or a girl who I noticed had a crush on me. And you know what? The author saved the moment at least, because the real reason Sung Jin-woo did what he did was because the amusement park was where the gate his father disappeared in, and he never got a chance to go visit. So he kind of killed two birds with one stone. But to once again wipe her character completely after the ending was questionable. And you know, it's fine because Sung Jin-woo has to suffer knowing that he lost the bonds he built with this girl, which makes sense because it's his story. Until in the epilogue, he gets a chance to rekindle an actual relationship with Cha Hae-in, as they even have a baby together, which I found very satisfying, so at least there's some pros and cons to certain characters. But overall, I can't dismiss your guys' feelings for having certain characters you enjoy just get thrown away, but hopefully it helped you come to terms that they're just to help the story of Sung Jin-woo flourish. If the author wants to focus on more characters, he would have given Sung Jin-woo more of a main cast and even more backstory and lore to certain characters, but since he didn't do this, it's kinda obvious what route he wanted to take his story in. Now that I've given my opinion on the side cast of characters, let's move on to the star of the show, Sung Jin-woo. Like I've already mentioned, this story is by no means perfect, but Sung Jin-woo's character is the closest we get for a power fantasy. Everything that's been going on has been revolving around him. I think the biggest complaint I ever hear about his character is the plot armor, which I could hear you guys out on. It's a very understandable statement as we do get many moments like this. But if you didn't expect the protagonist to win in a series where he almost gets everything gift wrapped to him prior to it, then I don't know what to tell you. Now, I feel like this might be a hot take as I couldn't find others online who agreed with what I'm about to say, but the ending actually did a lot more good for Sung Jin-woo's character than bad. Heck, I didn't see any bad at all. Throughout the story, Sung Jin-woo undergoes significant character development. He starts as a weak E-rank hunter, but through hard work, determination, and often dire circumstances, he grows into one of the most powerful hunters in the world. His journey from weakness to strength is a central theme, and the ending reflects his ultimate ascension to greatness. We see the true meaning of struggle and growth through Sung Jin-woo's eyes, as we see him explore other themes like self-improvement and reflection. From the beginning, Sung Jin-woo's journey is marked by a sense of destiny. His unique power and ability set him apart from others, hinting at a larger role he's destined to play. The ending where he becomes the Shadow Monarch fulfills this destiny. It completes his transformation from a mere hunter to a figure of immense power and influence in the world of hunters. As the Shadow Monarch, he's neither fully good nor evil. This ambiguity adds depth to his character, making him more nuanced and interesting. He's not simply a hero or a villain, but a complex figure navigating the moral complexities of his newfound powers. While the ending marks a significant milestone in Sung Jin-woo's journey, it also leaves room for further exploration and growth. It's not the end of his story, but rather a new beginning. This open-endedness allows fans to speculate about what's to come for him and keeps the story alive in their imaginations. But then we get the epilogue, which answers a lot of unasked questions, which transitions me to my next point. I want to speak on something I saw on Reddit. Was it a good idea to put out the light novel's epilogue? Short answer, absolutely. This epilogue provides closure to the story by tying up loose ends and offering a glimpse into the characters' futures. After the intense climax of our MC, readers get to see how the world has changed and how the characters have grown and adapted in the aftermath. Some examples are the chairman's proper death. As we see him again in a hospital bed, Sun Jin gives him the chance to prolong the inevitable for another 10 years, which he does successfully. But once in critical condition again, the chairman's only wish is to understand his past, which Sung Jin-woo gives him the chance to share the truth that happened to everybody before passing away peacefully. Then we get Jin Chul-woo, who becomes a police officer and undergoes cases and stumbles upon Sung Jin-woo and actually discovers his own past on his own. Joe gets thrown into the mix again and randomly walks past Sung Jin-woo, asking him if they've ever met before, where he smirks and responds with a cold, nah. Jin-ho, who not only runs a successful business, but actually gets married to Sung Jin-woo's sister. I'd say that's a good thing, better for his sister to be in a relationship with a trusted friend than some random dude. Cha-hae's romance with Sung Jin-woo, as we finally get a two-sided romance between the two, where he ends up also having a child with her, and giving birth to a healthy baby boy. But most importantly, a little more of Sung Jin-woo's character after everything has gone down. He goes to school, studies for exams, meets Cha Hae-in, fights against Gates, has his trusty army of soldiers, even has his son who ends up wielding the same power he does. This epilogue really did do justice to what everyone was crying about for the abrupt ending. All in all, a massive dub, and it's canon, so nobody can complain. I just want to leave some final words and thoughts for the fans that were genuinely devastated by the ending. I'm gonna assume if you are genuinely devastated by this ending, this is your first power fantasy type media. Because you gotta understand, solo leveling doesn't do anything out of the ordinary that other power fantasies haven't already done. If anything, it just takes it to the max. So for you to consume the series and think, wow, this ending was dog shit, that's unlucky you feel this way, because it really wasn't. It was exactly what it was set out to be, and because of the epilogue, there really isn't much to complain about anymore. Anyway, thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed Solo Leveling's ending or enjoyed this type of content, be sure to press the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Like I already mentioned, I'll most definitely be making a longer video on all the things I loved from Solo Leveling, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.